If you want to get the top odds every time, bet with Top Sport's Same Game Multi. Top Sport. Feel the excitement. Gamble responsibly.
Welcome back to another edition of the Same Game Multi podcast, our final episode for the year. Yes, that's right, wipe away those tears. We're just as sad as you are, but we're going to have a great show. Got a lot of laughs coming up. We might even have a look at some sport and see what's happening as well, but plenty to talk about. We're going to do a review of the year, our first year on the podcast, and hopefully have a few laughs along the way. So make sure you stay on side because we're about to kick off. As I welcome in for the last time this year, to my right, Jared, J-Rod, Bertman. How are you, mate?
Fabulous, boys. Fabulous. It's lucky last for the year.
Last. And to my left, the man, the myth, the legend, Ches. How are you, mate?
Good, boys. Good afternoon.
We're here, mate. 45 episodes in, believe it or not.
44 too many.
44 too many, some would say. Been a great year. Lots of highlights and lots of lowlights as well. Hopefully we've provided a few laughs for you guys at home. I know we've had plenty. If only we could release the unedited versions. There'd probably be a few lawsuits, let me tell you.
Yeah.
What we might do, boys, we might do a little year in review. We'll have a little look back at our highlights of the year. We're going to combine three of a kind and highlight of the week into highlight of the year. And then we'll just have a little talk about the year that was 2021, what's happened in it. Everything with the podcast, and like I said, we might have a look at the Ashes coming up on Boxing Day and a bit of BBL as well to get a few bets. So, do you want to jump straight into three of a kind, boys?
Yeah, might as well kick off three of a kind. Yeah, while we're at it. So
three of a kind this week is going to be our three top moments of the year. It's hard to just narrow it down to three. I found I was struggling a little bit as we always struggle with three of a kind, but I might kick us off, boys, if you don't mind. Is that all right?
Let them rip.
just say it, baby. Say it.
Just say it. So my third ace is Game 1 in the State of Origin series. New South Wales shellacked Queensland 50-6. As you probably remember, there was going to be played in Newcastle, and then I think you got moved up to Townsville or something there, wasn't it? Yeah, and anyway, we smashed them 50-6.
Tommy Turbo put on the clinic.
Masterclass Latrell. And just to see New South Wales with a bit of dominance back in that State of Origin arena is great, obviously for a New South Welshman like we all are. So that's my third ace, boys.
Yeah, well, I'll bounce off that one. I'm going to go Tiger Woods and his son. That's just recently happened, his comeback. That's only happened about 3 days ago, but that's basically taken my year. That's one of the best things I've ever seen. But it was beaten by John Daly and his son in typical John Daly fashion, smoking cigarettes and drinking Maccas on the field and whatever else.
Is his son the same? Does he look the same?
He's got the exact same name.
Does he? What about the body figure, though?
Oh, very similar. But not quite as blonde and beardy, but...
I was going to say...
his name is
that the beard on John Daly looking pretty Viking-like, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So John Daly Jr. is his name, but I did see a photo. For those who are friends with me on social media, I actually put it on my story on both Facebook and Instagram, and it was Tiger and his son embracing after their narrow defeat. I thought that was fabulous to see him back. Playing golf at the top level when he was told that he'd probably never play golf at the top level ever again after his accident. So
I reckon he wasn't even going to walk.
Yeah, exactly right.
Stage,
so that's made my year almost in the sporting world.
Wonder if John Daly Jr. tees off the empty beer cans like his old man used to.
Could do.
What a weapon. Mate, my third ace there is the sponsors that we've received this year and how much we actually get off them. It's been a bit of a surprise. We've got such good sponsors so quick. It's just another thank you and hats off to the Whitebull Hotel, Top Sport, Tristan and the team are up there at the Goldie area, and then Manscaped contacting us as well and looking to do a bit of a deal with us and
bit of a trim,
keeping things silky.
Yeah, I agree with that, mate. That's been phenomenal. They've been Whitebull, especially from the start. They were with us from pretty much the very first episode, which was fantastic. Tristan come on board with Top Sport, show a bit of faith in the show. Fantastic as well. And then, yeah, like you said, Manscaped tell you what, the wife's happy about that one.
Does she even know about it, mate?
No,
You
she
are.
doesn't know.
Oh,
She
you
has
are
no
married.
idea. Yeah, exactly right. Boys, my second ace is the form of Tommy Turbo. He missed quite a few games early in the season, 5 or 6 games, I think. And Manly were out and dusting. You know, they were calling for Desi's head.
That's a big hairdo to cut off too.
That was his wife. And then Turbo comes in and just rockets him into top 4 status. One of the best seasons I've ever seen from any player, let alone a fullback. And continue that straight into State of Origin for us, which was great. Unfortunately, you know, he couldn't go through to the grand final, and that just would have really capped off. But just his form in general.
And I haven't missed that bulky period, the stats that he ended up with.
Phenomenal, off the
where
charts.
he finished. A lot of players couldn't get that for the whole season.
No,
So
exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
100%.
Off the charts.
And he was game short through missing at the start of the season, obviously off on representative duty as well throughout. And he himself and Saab were phenomenal for Manly this year, unfortunately,
and Garrick.
because no one likes Manly. BT, that one's directed at you. My second ace is just when you look back over the years, like over the years so far, how much people are like in how would I say? I don't know how to say it, but for example, young Lockie Taylor, who's a massive supporter of the show, I did some work across the road from his house. Must have been Monday afternoon, and he brought some candy cane and some gingerbread men over to me, and wearing a PSG shirt too. Nice taste there. Just I was just down at the headquarters and picked up my punters club money, and Dorso was down there, and he says, so mate, when's the next episode coming out? I said, mate, every Thursday. He said, beautiful. I listen to, that people, you know what I mean? Like you walk downtown, you see people like Hawkeye and that sort of thing. A couple of my mates that listen all the time, and they're always messaging me saying, like Donk, for example, will just message me something saying, mate, that was piss funny. I played that 3 or 4 times. I kept going back 10 seconds just to listen again. So that's my second one, is just that general feedback. And realistically, apart from that stitch up we did at the start of the year, someone, what was it about? Their ears were bleeding or something after.
Me mum's feedback.
That was a stitch up. But apart from that, it has 100%
It's all been positive.
been positive, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Really, we love doing the show, and I think that sort of comes through on the camera and through the audio devices. You know, we have a lot of fun doing it. It's just a couple of blokes having a beer, talking a bit of shit about footy or sport or whatever it might be. So really do appreciate all that feedback and the fact that you are liking the show. So, yeah.
100%.
Love it.
Oh, me.
Yep, over to you, mate.
Number 2.
Oh, just back on the candy cane and gingerbread. If that was roles reversed, you'd be in prison with your mates.
Hey.
Especially if you had a van. Everybody's be gone.
I tell you what, they were delicious too.
My second one happened a few months ago with the NRL Grand Final. Just the lead up to everything and just the atmosphere around that time in the Grand Final area. Grand Final timing, I should say. The time frame. The build up, where the boys come up, we watched it up here. Even though the game didn't go exactly how I wanted it to, it was a good game, and it's probably one of my favourite times of the year anyway, hands down, regardless on who the teams are. But this year's one, it was an absolute cracker.
It was a good game.
I reckon. Now, I watch. I'm a football fanatic, obviously. I think this year I've watched the most football I've ever watched in my life in a season. I'm watching Thursday games, I'm watching Friday games, I'm going to headquarters on a Saturday night, watching it there at headquarters, and I'm watching the game on Sunday afternoon. I reckon I probably might have missed maybe... I don't watch the 6 o'clock time slot on Fridays. Mr. Volandis, I know you're a big listener. That is fucking pus. But the good thing is it's always Cronulla, and I don't like Cronulla, so that works well. But I tell you what,
Tigers.
Yeah. So this year, like I think I've watched the most football I've ever watched in my career, in my life.
Yep, and can't wait for it to come back.
Yeah, 100%.
76 days, I think, until
Counting.
Yes. Boys, I'll lead into my number one, and that's just being able to spend every Wednesday afternoon with you two Muppets, as I just said, talking a bit of shit, having a bit of a laugh. It's been great. I pitched the idea about this time last year, I think it was, and we kicked it off a few weeks before season start at the start of this year, and it's just grown ever since. A few change of sets, a few change of locations, but the one thing that hasn't changed is us three and the laughs that we have along the way. So for me, boys, that's my number one.
Very good.
I'll back that too. It's I remember when you first said it to me. I think we might have been. I think you might have messaged me on Facebook or something. And first we started rapping, and that's how it happened. So, but yeah, I'm going to lock in. My number one is Chez's pronunciation of. Oh no, you're right, Chez. Hey, that's the wrong one. Hey, settle.
Very good.
Can get them wrong.
Yeah.
Can get them wrong.
Hey, so can I.
And that's bloody calling them out, not even spelling them.
Hey, Gar
all.
Brandon. I can't speak. I said that a couple of weeks ago.
That was a good one too. What's yours, mate? What's your number one?
Mate, my number one is a little double header. Both of these things happen around very similar time frame. The Roosters signing the Cheese and Joey Manu re-signing with the Chooks. That's going to be huge for us over the next couple of years. Very excited to see Brandon Smith join the club, get on the colours there and do some damage. It's going to be interesting to see how him and Victor Radley team up there with a few little players, and yeah, it's going to bring a bit of new flair to the side, I think.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see down at Roosters headquarters whether they've had to widen the doors in the place. Otherwise, with a sombrero, it's only that fucking thing's only getting bigger and bigger. Soon they'll be having to walk sideways through the doors. So I reckon they've gone from a 900 door to about 1100. Try and get that big sombrero through there.
Very good, boys. That was our last three of a kind for the year. As I said, some great memorable moments for all of us throughout the year. Hopefully you guys have had some as well, listening and viewing the show. Boys, you know what I like about having full control of all the all the past episodes of the show?
Well, you've got more control here than you have at home.
Well, that's true. But it gives me the ability to go through it and pick out little nuggets of information from throughout previous season episodes throughout the season. So one of the ones that I really like, Chez, is predictions. At the start of the year, we gave our predictions for our top 8 and how we thought the sides were going to go. And I think I've got the sound cued here, mate. And let's just have a little listen to what you said about the Penny Panthers. Actually, Panthers. What do we see with the Penny Panthers, boys?
Good side. I think that the two big things that are going to hurt them is the Mansour and Tamu movements. Two key players. Cleary's obviously going to be looking for some redemption from last year. Got a lot of skill, got a lot of heart that side too. My prediction is they're going to choke in the finals. My prediction is they're going to choke in the finals. My prediction is they're going to choke in the finals. But we'll see if that comes true in a few months' time. Well, definitely backfired that one, didn't it?
Nostradamus does it again. Wow.
I'd hate to see what mine is.
Very
I
fun.
don't like the reverse touch that you have. I say something that never happens, and then you put money on someone and they're gone.
Yeah.
How good is my form, honestly? Kent ruled out the bloody Aussie captain. Had him as the leading wicket taker for game 2. Night before, ruled out because of COVID. Josh Hazelwood's still out. I got him as my bowler of the series, honestly. Mate, no, but for you started the year very angry, very cranky.
Oh, the old shit list,
Just
is it?
an old segment, the shit list, which we're going to bring back next year, mind you, because the punters did love it. Everyone was shouting out for it, but you were very cranky. You seem to have mellowed a little bit. I don't know whether it's the beers we're getting off Hawkeye now, but got a few little nuggets here, mate. We're just going to take a little listen to as well.
Ricky. My shit list, as I touched on before, is Ricky Stewart. Ricky Stewart, you are a clown. Can you please, for at least for one game, can you be graceful in defeat? I'm sick of hearing your constant whinging. And when you're at Parramatta, you've cost us so much.
Still going on about that was 10 years ago.
10 years ago, exactly.
Still haven't got over it.
Hey, your boy holds a grudge. Let's
Talk
be
about him
honest.
being a fucking whinger.
Your boy holds a grudge. Ricky Stewart, you are a dead set fucking goose. Welcome to the shit list, Ricky Stewart. Probably for the 3rd or 4th time, I think, too. Very accurate, too. Bim, get that up, yeah.
I think you made a few appearances, that's for sure. So
I think that was a back-to-back one too,
I think
from
it
memory.
was. I have never, ever seen a coach complain so much.
It's gone again.
Fucking hell.
Get him started.
Nah.
Very good. Boys, round 10. Do you remember
Have
what
you got one
round
for
10
yourself or what?
No. Do you remember what round 10 was this year?
A
Is that magic round?
And do you remember what happened in Magic Round?
Someone got biffed.
The crackdown on the biff.
Oh, it was too. Yeah,
Remember
there was
the
like
crackdown on the biff.
there was
They had
like
about 8 players
8
sent off.
bins, yeah.
This little nugget comes from our round 11 preview.
It is Mr. Volandis and Jared Maxwell, the head of referees, after your crackdown on the weekend. That was no signs given, no warnings ahead. However, it is for a positive reason. But at the same time, your interpretation of the head high that bounces up off the ball and chins someone with a forceful effort. For example, the Josh Maguire sin bin, that was absolutely fucking horrendous. There was nothing in it. There was no malice intended. If he so you watch his hip drop afterwards, his hip drop's worth 5 weeks. That head high is not worth 5 weeks. And if the game's going to turn into that, it's going to turn into the game of 15, which is called rugby. And Laurie Daly summed that up quite marvellously not that long ago. He said, league is a simple game played by simple people. Rugby is a complex game played by wankers. And he's not far wrong. So they've basically come up with a new rule. Why don't change something that doesn't need changing? Don't fix something that's not broken. Simple as that. Jared Maxwell, head of referees, you need to stay off the alcohol or the straight scotch because your cheeks are red raw. That boils me. Red raw cheeks, gingy blonde hair, mate. Just go back, pasty skin, stay out of the sun. There's a reason why you're up there making decisions, and basically, the rule is now you've got to adjust to the ball runner. So if the ball runner's dipping, you've got to dip with him. Fuck that. Get in and drive some cunt.
Oh, do you
And
ever
anonymouses, you can get fucked as well.
Fuck you and cranky.
Yeah, that still pisses me off. That still fucking pisses me off. So does Ricky. Fuck Ricky as well.
Oh, hilarious. Anyway, fantastic.
Yeah, I do remember that crackdown actually, and I still remember that Josh Maguire sin bin. And got 5 weeks for it, but his hip drop near broke old mate's leg.
Yeah.
That was horrific, but but yeah, I do remember that, and I can tell you what, my statements I won't withdraw them. So
Stand by them.
You ever listen to yourself and just go, not this fucking idiot?
You mentioned one of your highlights, mate, was Chez's pronunciation of a few names. None more so than his best mate from Melbourne Storm, who's now moved on to the Cronulla Sharks. By the name of Dale
Finucane.
That's Dale
Finucane.
Dale
Finucane.
And for those of you that don't know, I put together a little remix as well.
Finucane. 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 Finucane.
Have anything to say for yourself, Ches?
Mate, I blame the Finucane. 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 I blame the commentary on the I blame the commentary on the NRL PlayStation game for that. That's how his name was pronounced on that.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Andrew Voss,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah, Vossi. So
Finucane.
whoever organised that, they can go get fucked.
Oh, very good. I love it. There was plenty more along the way as well, but there are a few little nuggets that I managed to grab out last night when I was doing a bit of research for the show, boys. So
I was waiting for you to hit me with the Justice.
Oh, Justice Olam.
Yeah, Justice Olam.
No, I couldn't find him. Had to spend hours trolling through just to get that. But anyway, like I said, we had a bit of fun along the way, which was fantastic. And all those moments, boys, are now on camera and on tape and there for the record for the rest of your life. So
Yeah. Kill me now.
I'll be very careful with next year's predictions, I think,
Yes,
before the season
I
starts.
think we're fairly close because I actually tipped
With our
South.
ladders we were.
Top
I
eight was
tipped
really
South
close.
to win the comp,
Yeah.
and they came runners up.
I was the same as you.
Yeah, you had South as well. Who'd you have, Clint?
Anyway, we're going to take a break. At the Raiders. Yeah, anyway, thanks for that. We are going to take a little break and we'll be back straight after this.
Another half win. From punters jumping in early or waiting too late. You get a good price on one leg, but the others have shortened dramatically. You still win, but it feels like you half win. Introducing Top Sport's Best of the Best multi. Get top odds on every leg, every time. Don't be one of these. Just bet and forget Bob Multi. Top Sport. Feel the excitement.
Don't let the game play you. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
All right, we're back. We've restocked the fridge and got another beer or two between us and wiped the eyes from all the tears, from all the laughter. So fantastic little reminisce there on the year that was. We're going to have a little look forward now to the third Ashes test, which will be on Boxing Day. Probably my favourite test all year. Be able to sit back and just watch the cricket all day. shit everywhere because of the Christmas, but it'll still be there the following day. So, boys, we smashed them again in the second. They made it go to 5 days this time at least. Beat them in 4 days on the first. But looking at the market, boys, at Top Sport, I don't think they're putting much faith behind England.
No, they're very short.
Australia paying $1.45, England are $5.90. That's just head to head. I can't see them doing much more than what they did in that second test. Can you?
No, well, I said in last week's podcast that I thought the inclusion of Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson would make a terrific difference for them, and basically failed too. I think Jimmy Anderson, as good as he is, he still nips the ball around, swings it both ways, can reverse the ball, and he's very secretive of what he's bowling. Whereas a lot of bowlers will hold the ball in their hand, and you'll be able to see their action. He's very, very hidden, but I just think he just doesn't have it in the legs anymore.
He's 39 or something like that.
Yeah, so I thought he struggled. And Stuart Broad, whether he struggles for a bit of fitness or something, but in the end, realistically, I don't care. I take back my comments from last week by saying Jack Leach can't play the Adelaide Test. He should have played the Adelaide Test. Just see how much Nathan Lyon made the ball. He had players on the strings like a puppet. So, but I don't know. I just think in more ways than one, Australia are far and far ahead of England at the moment in Test cricket. And
all credit to the strategy the Aussies employed about that on that day one, taking it slow. It was 37 degrees, 36 degrees, making the England fielders out there all day. Did the same for the second day, which was fantastic.
It was 41 in the centre.
As you said, with the Broad was coming off a knee injury, I think, or a calf injury, so he wasn't fully fit. Jimmy Anderson's nearly 65. So it's just making them boys out there all day, I think, really took that sting out of their attack.
I was watching a bit of the replays I would have knocked off at work the other night. I was having a beer. The Pommies were batting. I can't remember the name of the batsman. He was wearing a woolen vest.
Yeah.
Over his shirt.
Yeah.
I said to one of the boys, why would you be wearing that? They're out in the heat.
Usman Khawaja, he's always batted in a vest. Always played in a vest, yeah.
That was me, mate. Heat stroke.
Exactly. Being Pommy too, you'd think that they'd be struggling.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think, because they would have been getting used to being cold, like over there for this time of year. Yeah. They'd come over here, starting to crisp right up.
Yeah, but it might be, I don't know.
He's wearing the old fleece.
You know how you, say you've had a big day in the sun and you're sort of a bit sunburnt, even though the temperature's up, as soon as the sun starts to drop, because your body temperature's so high, that change of temperature, you get a little bit chilly.
A little bit nipply.
Yeah, whether it was something to do with that, but yeah, I
might be just some superstition. He likes to bat in a vest. You never know.
Vest. Maybe I should. I
think that was traditionally. No, I think that might have been traditionally their uniform that they wore.
Yeah, right.
I remember with the weird style hats they had back in.
Well, traditionally, just stay away from it because it didn't fucking work.
No, it didn't work at all.
As I said, boys, the Australians are paying $1.45. England are $5.90. If you do like them, if you want to waste some cash, get on them. That's fantastic. As I mentioned the other week, though, I love the markets that Top Sport have for the Ashes, and I'm going to feature one in my charity bet coming up. I'll talk to you about that. But there's about 300 markets there you can have a punt on, which is fantastic. Some really good ones as well if you want to go into it and find a bit of value, which I'm hoping to have done with my charity bet. That's kicking off Boxing Day. As I said, my favourite test of the year. Sit back all day, do nothing except just watch the cricket. Only time you get up is to get another Canadian club.
Now, why was it called Boxing Day? Is there boxing on?
I don't know.
Because I have never seen boxing on Boxing Day.
Well, maybe back in the day, there might have been a brawl out the front of old Bethlehem's fucking old Jesus house.
Got on the old Jesus wine and got into it.
when they realised the time, they might have had a little bit of a box on the day after. I don't know.
I'm going to search that up.
Look it up.
Bit of research, mate. Get it by the end of the potty for the punters out there, because I know it'll be, everyone will be wanting to know the answer.
Lucky there's no churchies listening. They'll be fucking banging on the studio.
All right, that's that done and dusted. Let's have a quick look at the BBL as well, boys. Charity bet for myself got up with the BBL. I'll run through that a bit later as well, so I'm going to get on that again this week. Sydney Sixers got her up for me last night, mate. 4 balls to go, which was fantastic.
Yeah, didn't make it look easy, I tell you that.
They're in good form, though, the Sixers, unbeaten.
They are in good form. One thing that does sort of worry me, and it reflected a lot last night, was the loss of Curran and Stevie O'Keefe. Stephen O'Keefe is 39, and he's done soft tissue to his calf or somewhere around that
Fuck,
region.
he'll be gone for 4 months.
So, well, there you go. And being 39 years of age, not,
A bit like Hackett.
I was going to say like you boys too, being a little bit longer. So I don't think we'll see him come back this season. So.
Harsh but fair.
But I was stressing. I was watching it last night. I was pumped.
I'm surprised you're awake, actually, when you responded to me message. You're usually in bed by 8:30, aren't you?
Well, Mum tells me to go to bed at 7, but
lights out at 10:30, right. A couple of games coming up this week. Thursday, we've got the Strikers versus the Heat. Strikers are $1.62 favourite there. Brisbane, $2.34 outsiders. Chris Lynn, as we spoke about last week, hasn't lived up to his hype. He's been very poor this season, I found, and they really need him to fire if they're going to go deep into the finals, which at this stage I can't see them doing.
I don't think they'll make the finals.
No, I think they're really struggling. Also, then on Friday, we've got the Hobart Hurricanes versus Melbourne Stars. This will be good for all the dads that are up late building Christmas bikes, ready for Christmas morning.
Toy kitchens.
Toy kitchens. So
I'll be having that one on in the background for sure. Stars are the favourite there, $1.73, and the Hurricanes are $2.16 outsiders. And then on Sunday, boys, how good's this? You got the Ashes all day, and then you go straight into the Sydney Thunder versus Sydney Sixers, the local derby there. As we mentioned, the Sixers are in fine form. They're the favourites at $1.74. Thunder are $2.12 outsiders if you do like them. There is also another game on after that, the Scorchers versus someone, but there's just not a market up for that at the time of our recording. So you get about 17 hours worth of cricket on Boxing Day, which is fantastic.
And they wonder why wives hate cricket.
Exactly, yeah.
And so I might get a second carton.
Might have to.
Just in case.
So I'm just looking at the table here. Perth Scorchers, obviously, they're 4 from 4. Flying the Sixers are 4 from 5 on equal points. But I was just looking, the Adelaide Strikers are 4th on 7 points, but only won 1 game. So every single game.
Because they get that bash point or something, whatever it is
they've
now.
had the bash point, the boost point
They
there.
got it last night too, I think.
Brisbane Heat are second last, 1 from 4 with a net run rate of minus 0.73. So Lenny, he better get out that rifle and start banging a couple of sixes, because I tell you what, if they don't pick up their game shortly, it'll be too far gone, I think.
I've actually seen Chris Lynn's misses. She's a 10, not a 6, so I'm sure he's banging 10s.
Well, you won't be banging anyone when I give a copy of this to your wife. Boys, the legend, the myth himself too, you forgot to mention, is back.
Rashid Khan?
No. Aaron Finch.
Oh, is he?
He's back.
Great.
So that's right.
There goes the Renegade season.
The Australian captain, only the 4th ever Australian captain to win a trophy in a major event. So well done, Aaron Finch. Mate, if I wasn't cut off earlier, I would have given you a 3 of a kind. Thanks, darling. Mate, you keep playing that, mate. There'll be riots out front of the studio first thing next year.
What did the Heat lose by on Sunday? It was about 40 runs, wasn't it?
Yeah, they weren't even in the race.
Yeah, it cost me a charity bet, one of those.
Good
Did.
Moldy too.
Well, like Joe Root cost me my charity bet by 12 runs.
Yeah, got rooted.
Ellen DeGeneres, dog.
Speaking of charity bets, let's jump over into that, boys. I had a pretty good week last week. As you might remember, I mixed it up a little bit and changed my strategy, put a few bets on, and I got a couple of them up. Gentleman Roy, he got across the line first for me, about $9. I think.
Did you back it yourself?
Negatory.
Rookie.
And then also I had a little 3-legger in the BBL, which got up as well, and that was the Thunder, the Scorchers, and the Sixers all to win, and that one was paying about $4.60 or something, I think. So I had a pretty good win myself. I'll tell you what, my shoulder's a bit sore, but boys, carry lads all weekend.
I think Ches is still in front of you, is he? Or
I don't know. Yeah, probably on a count back. But that puts the total well up over that $1,000 mark, boys. So some great money will be going to our charities in a few months' time, which is great.
That's only after a couple of months too.
I was a bit worried that we're only going to be able to give them like $150 each or something. So
anyway, thanks for coming.
Just like Fred Durst once sang, you got to have faith.
Got to have faith,
Exactly right.
player. All right,
George
this week.
Michael as well. Elton had faith in him.
Yeah, would have a lot more than faith in him.
6 inches of faith. Charity bets for this week. Not a lot to bet on, but I'm going to have a little three-legger in the BBL as we just spoke about. Strikers, the Stars and the Sixers. That one's paying $4.88, 25 on that. Thank you very much, Tristan. And the other one I'm going to have, I mentioned before about the markets in the Ashes. This little one I found today. If you join TopSport or have your TopSport account, you go into the Ashes game and scroll down, you'll find Toppy Match Specials. And what they do, they've got $3.50 ones, and they've got $3.50 to $7 ones, and they've got $7 plus ones. And that's where I found a little bit of value here. Ches obviously goes there straight away.
Bang.
But the one I like, boys, is Marnus Labuschagne and David Milan to both score a 50 in the first innings.
Labuschagne.
Yeah, Labuschagne.
Darwood.
Milan. Yeah, that's exactly what it said.
Oh, yeah. Hey, replay it, which it's not.
$7 if you like that. So you're going to get $7 back there. So I'm having 25 on that as well. So the charities are going to eat caviar if that comes off.
I thought his name was that like Labashingi or something. So I'm glad it was you putting that on and not me.
Loose bus change. They call it.
So that's my two bets, boys. 25 on
Nice.
each.
Marnus Linguini.
I like that little those little things he's got on there now for that.
It's great. Some great markets there as well. Yeah.
That way, if you're sort of after, if you got $10, you think, wouldn't mind winning 50, then you just go into those brackets. You want to win 200, you go, here we go here, without trying to have to make up something yourself. You can just jump straight on it.
It's fantastic.
He's
Love
already
it.
made it for you.
Oh, it's too easy.
Hey.
And then the more you put on, the more you get back. Just gamble responsibly.
Well, boys.
Who's going next?
My soccer multi last week was Borussia Muchen.
Busted in first game, weren't you?
First game, yeah. Borussia Muchen Gladbach lost in the first leg. Fucking Germans. So I'm going to stick with soccer.
Never won anything, those Germans.
Ask Mr. Hitler. Boys, I'm going to go to Scorchers. I'm going to bounce off the Scorchers. We're going to Scotland. Celtic back to England, Liverpool and Wolverhampton Wolves to win in the EPL. So that's the Scorchers to win Big Bash, just tonight's game. Celtic to win in the Scottish Premier League on the weekend. Liverpool and Wolverhampton, $3.51, and I'm going to put the whole 50 straight on that. We're going into Christmas on the arrows up.
Tell you what, it'll be a Christmas miracle if you get a bet up. What about you, Ches?
Mate, I had a shocker on the weekend. I had to reinstall the bloody betting app, didn't I? That was a debacle. I forgot to put some Big Bash bloody tips on, but I have come up with a multi. Now, I've snuck back into the darts here. We've entered the round 2 season of the World Champs, and I've been in the Christmas week. Got to try and win some cash for the charity, so I've got an 8-leg multi here. Gone with some favourites that should get through pretty easily. Now, having saying that, my darts charity bet lost last week, and that they lost. I think I lost at least 3 legs out of that too. We had Darius Labanauskas hit a 9 data in his match. He won the first set, but ended up losing 3-1. So there's games like that just crazy. So I've gone Ryan Searle to beat William Borland, who also hit a 9 data. William O'Connor, the Magpie, to beat Glenn Durrant. Joe Cullen to beat Jim Williams. Nathan Aspinall to beat Joe Mernon. Chris Dobie to beat Rusty Rodriguez Jr. Dirk Van Dugenberg and Dogan, I'll just call him DVD, to beat Boris Koltsov. Kim Hyvrits to beat Steve Beaton. And Danny Noppert to beat Heaver. I can't remember Heaver's first name. He's a new player. Whacking the whole 50 on, paying $6.05.
Good thing about watching us on YouTube, you can skip back every 15 seconds. So get yourself a pen and paper and write all that down. $50 straight on it, mate.
Straight on it, mate.
Speaking of the darts, mate, Aussies won today. Rossi Smith beat Devon Peterson.
I seen that 3-0.
3-0. And tomorrow, about 9 o'clock our time in the morning, Simon Whitlock will play. So
He's playing, is it Ryan Mullenkamp?
Mullenkamp, yeah.
That's going to be a tough match.
Well, he played well in the Whitlock's about $1.50 or whatever, but mate, the way he played in the first round, it was he's playing some fabulous darts. So
A tough match. Damon Hedder's got a tough game against him as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly who he's playing. I had a look. The Aussies have got a pretty tough run now. But the Guru was the name. Is the nickname of the Aussie guy that played this morning.
Bim.
He wishes. But,
Only playing with himself.
yeah, he came through and beat Devin Peterson, who has represented South Africa in the World Cup, known for hitting lots of 180s. So that game there, you can re-watch him on YouTube after you've watched us here. Just go onto the links there and click on them.
The African warrior.
He is the African warrior, so he would have been very disappointed. He's got a bad history with playing Australians, so I think that sort of plays on his mind. Gets smoked a lot when
Might have a bit of sandpaper in his pocket, rubbing his darts and.
There's also Gary Anderson got the better of Adrian Lewis too, like I thought he would, like I said last week.
How good.
And overcome the crowd to beat Fallon Sherrick. He didn't have to wear his earplugs, but he did get up 3-2, so that was good to see. There's still talk of her being entered in the Premier League. I think that's just going to be garbage, so they should just go with they should go with someone else. Now, a good game coming up this week, which I couldn't put money on, was the return of Raymond Van Barneveld playing Rob Cross. 2 former world champions. Who do you pick? One's come back playing decent. One's still there, not playing the best. It's a very hard game to pick. I think Barney's in a better headspace now. Speaking of his head, you've seen his hair transplant things that he's got. Looks strange.
Has he got hair transplants?
So
Plugs.
Yeah, like little dot things. They're weird. Anyway,
Warnie.
that's
Matty Johns.
That's like I can see. So the Barney versus Cross game, that could go either way. So just be careful putting money on that one.
You mentioned there, Ches, you forgot to put your BBL tips in, as did a lot of people. Just let me remind you that if you do forget to put them in on game 1, 2, 3, 4, you can go in and do it halfway through the round. So I know there's a few people who have maybe not realised that. Just need to go in and just click everywhere, and you'll eventually get to put your tips in for the remaining games. So
yeah, I think I missed the first 2.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
and then the first game I tipped lost anyway, so I should have just missed the first 3.
Speaking of the guru, I'm looking at the table now. Mr. Bim, the guru, is number 1 top dog.
Yep.
Danny 86, well done, brother. Sitting up there in second. Your boy Hackleberry up there in third, and guess who's in fourth? Yours truly, myself, Mike Oxlong. He's the biggest loser.
He took the lead early. He must have hit a bit of cold weather and shriveled up a bit.
He did.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that whoever's last, the Hurricane Hero. When the Hurricanes beat the Sixers, I went back through and looked at his tips, and he tipped the Sixers over the Hurricanes. What are you doing, son?
Did the Sixers win?
Honest punter. No, they got beaten.
Oh, true.
See, honest punter.
Very good. All right, we'll take one last break for the year, and we'll be back with 21 and done beer of the week and a wrap up after this.
You can't beat Top Sport's best of the best multis. Top odds are guaranteed during any Saturday Metro meeting. Plus, there's best of the best to win up to $5,000 on Saturday Metro too. Top Sport. Feel the excitement.
Gamble responsibly.
All right, we're back for our last segment of the year. Old J-Rod's a bit excited already. Goes off a little bit early, but we're used to that. As we mentioned the last few weeks, Manscaped, great company, has reached out and sponsoring the show, and they're going to be sponsoring 21 and Done, which is fantastic for our last episode, our last 21 and Done. Manscaped boys, we've had a bit of fun previously with the before and after and whatnot, but in all seriousness, they are a great product, great company, and they do keep the little cherry ripes nice and clean as well for the bride. And as always, boys, ho, 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 gentlemen, the holidays have come early this year as Manscaped have the gift that keeps on trimming. Santa's beard isn't so appealing when it's coming out of his trousers, and that's why Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, have you covered this holiday season. Now available in Australia, join the 4 million men worldwide that trust Manscaped to keep their trees trimmed and their ornaments polished. Go to manscaped.com and use the code SGM to get yourself 20% off plus free delivery. As I mentioned last week, you go in, they already have a 10% off sale. There will be a little code in there already that says holiday. Scrap that, get rid of that, fuck that off. Put in SGM, we'll give you another 10% and you'll get your free shipping as well. Great products. They've got the Lawnmower 4.0, the Ball Toner, the Ball Deodorant, the Weed Whacker for those nostril hairs. Some great fucking jocks as well. You even get yourself a little shirt like this and you can walk around with the slogan on the back saying your balls will thank you. So, fantastic product, boys.
I also didn't realise this until I did an order. I actually got myself another pair of jocks because they are fabulous. Boys, did you realise that Manscaped are big supporters of testicular cancer, which I didn't realise. So at Manscaped, we've partnered with the testicle cancer society to help save balls. This means not only designing the right tools for the right job, but also raising awareness at the same time for testicular cancer. Boys, I didn't realise until I actually read this, 1 man every hour, every day, worldwide, is diagnosed with testicular cancer. And on top of that too, boys, this is very, very common. The most common stages are between the ages of 15 and 35.
Yeah, true.
So not only for that, obviously having the right tools for the right job, as they say, it goes. End of the day, it goes towards a massive cause, and that's raising awareness.
As I said, got the great products. I got my rate. Oh, sorry, Ches. Sorry. Still a few hairs in that one. So great products, waterproof as well, which is fantastic. But yeah, as you said, J-Rod, no laughing matter. They do support the testicular cancer, which is, I didn't realise the stats were that high, which is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah,
so.
that's crazy.
That age bracket, surprising.
Yeah, 15 to 35. So
one good thing about being a bit old, I suppose, for myself.
Well, I think from what I've heard in recent times, I'm imagining then if it's not testicular cancer, it then becomes prostate cancer as the older you get in men. So, boys, by all means, get behind the product, not only for the right tools, but for the right reasons as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Give them a tidy up, then go down and see the doc.
Yeah.
Check out me plums.
Bend and cough. All right, boys, last 21 and done for the season.
Can I just jump in, mate, before we get there? I've done my research on Boxing Day. Now,
there was a fight out the front of Bethlehem.
I wish there was. I better not say that on TV. Now, the name comes from a time when the rich used to box up gifts as in presents, to give to the poor. Yeah. Boxing Day was traditionally a day off for servants, probably /slaves, I'm guessing, and the day when they received a special Christmas box from their masters. The servants would also go home on Boxing Day to give Christmas boxes to their families. So it's pretty much the rich paying their slaves with a Christmas box. So that's where it comes from.
Fair enough.
Nothing anywhere near as exciting as I hoped. So
no. Well, it does make sense, I suppose, doesn't it?
Oh, sort of religious.
Very good. I'm glad that you sorted that one out for the punters. They'll be able to rest easy tonight knowing that you've got that sorted for them. Let's test our buzzers one last time, gentlemen.
Berman.
Ches.
All right. Very good. Couple of easy ones to start as always. Who was named a man of the match in the second Ashes test?
Ches. Warner.
Incorrect.
I'm going to say Marnus Labuschagne.
I'm going to say you're correct. 1 point to Birdo.
Labuschagne.
Labuschagne.
Oh, no, look out.
Hey, Marnus loose bus change.
Right. Okay, 1 point to Mr. Burton. Which AFL team did Nathan Buckley play 260 games for?
Ches, Port Adelaide.
Not off to a great start there, Mr. Cherry.
Geelong.
Incorrect. Want a clue?
Yeah, you have to give me a clue.
Yeah.
Think springtime swooping.
Birdman, Collingwood Magpies.
Collingwood Magpies, correct. 2-0. What are the three most common materials used to make darts?
Ches.
1 point for each answer.
Tungsten, brass, nickel.
Plastic.
Yep. Brass, nickel, silver, and tungsten. So, yep, 1 point there for
Tungsten
Cherry.
being
3
the
points
best.
for Cherry. 3 points for Ches on that, so 1 point for every... No, look. 1 point for each correct answer. I've got it written there. Which sport do you associate the term heavy eight with?
Ches, racing. Horse racing.
Fuck, I didn't even think of that.
Which Olympic sport did Sally Pearson win a gold medal for Australia in 2012?
That was the hurdles.
Over what distance?
I'm going to say 100.
I'm going to say correct. 4 plays 3, nice and close. Who did JT, Jonathan Thurston, give his premiership ring to in 2004?
JT gave his premiership to, was it Steve Price?
Yeah, what, is that a question or is that your answer?
Oh, that's my answer. Oh, yeah, because you can't answer with a question.
Very good. That one's done and dusted. Which Australian state was Sam Kerr born in?
Ches, Victoria.
New South in your mouth.
Keep going. You'll eventually get
Cane
it.
Toads. Queensland.
We're starting to narrow it down. WA.
Yes.
Yay!
Correct. And that was in 10th of September 1993. Nearly your vintage, mate.
Thanks for that. I'll sleep easy tonight.
5 plays 4. First multiple choice of the day. How long is a cricket pitch from stump to stump? Is it A, 19.68 metres, B, 20.12 metres, or C, 21.24 metres?
Ches B.
B, so that was 20.12?
Yeah, whatever it was.
Correct.
I'm trying to think of it in yards because I know what it is in yards, but not metres.
And it's 17.68 from crease to crease. Who is the former UFC lightweight and middleweight champion whose surname is the same as something you used to write with?
Ches
Birdman.
BJ Penn.
Too slow, bro, on the buzzer.
I could picture his face, but I couldn't.
6 plays 5. Nice and close. All right. How many players are on an ice hockey team?
Oh, team.
As in on the
playing?
on the ice at a time.
Ches 6.
6, yes, is correct. He's on fire. We've got a netminder, 2 defensemen, and 3 forwards.
Wayne Gretzky.
What sport would you be competing in if you were performing a clean and jerk?
Ches weightlifting.
Oh, you're right. You want to change your buzzer, mate.
I need a quicker one.
Yeah.
What's Tom say? Bertman.
That is correct. And also, if you get yourself the Manscaped 4.0, you can have a clean jerk every night of the week. We got 8 plays 5 now. In the NFL, which city do the Raiders
Ches.
play out of?
Oakland.
Well, they've been changed to LA.
They've been changed, but not to LA.
Oh, no, they've been changed from LA.
Yeah, but to where?
Uralla?
Think
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't hear that, but I
it only happened this year. That's why I threw it in there. I thought I might get yous. Think Sin City.
Bertman, Vegas.
Las Vegas Raiders.
I was thinking like the Bruce Willis movie for some reason. Miles off.
How many red snooker balls are there?
Ches.
Oh, fuck. Bertman, 8.
Wrong.
10.
7.
That's more.
15.
15. All right, we got 9 plays 6.
This is a fucking stitch up. This.
Second multiple choice. How old was Nathan Cleary when he made his debut for the Panthers? Is it A, 17, B, 18, or C, 19?
Does that include how old that zits? Big fucking. Bertman, I'm going to say B.
18?
I don't know what it is.
I'll say A.
I'm going to say B. C.
C, 19 years old, and that was round 13, 2016.
Wow.
Yeah, so listen carefully. In which city is the Daytona 500 NASCAR race held?
Ches. Daytona. Daytona Beach.
Daytona Beach. Nice. Very
That's
good.
a tricky one, that one.
I'll give you the point for that. I can't remember.
Give me that one.
10 plays.
You're fucking robbing me.
7,
anyway.
I think. I don't know. I lost count here. Anyway, might be 8. Melissa Wu is famous for which sport?
Ches Golf.
Incorrect.
Tennis.
Incorrect. It's an Olympic sport. Oh, it's very high.
Ches diving.
Diving.
Marijuana smoking.
Yeah. Australian diving. In squash, how many points do you need to win a game?
20. Bertman, 21.
That's table tennis.
Fucking.
Ches, I'm going to say 11.
11 is correct.
Fuck, I'm getting romped.
You are getting romped. If it's 10 all, then it goes to 2 points win. So you've got to go 12,
You have to
10.
have the
got to have a 2 point
advantage.
gap. Yeah. But 11 is off the bat. Last of the multiple choice for the year. Who is the tallest? A, Larry Bird. B, Scottie Pippen. Or C, Charles Barkley.
Ches Scottie Pippen. Go Larry Bird.
Yeah, I was going to say Larry Bird.
Larry Bird is correct. Old white man Bird.
By how much do you know?
Yeah, so Larry Bird is 6'9".
Holy shit.
Scottie Pippen is 6'8", And
Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley's a short ass at 6'6". So Birdo
he
with
was a
the
bit short,
points
but-
there.
I didn't realise Bird was so tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Does that include his nose?
If he puts his head up, he's another 2 foot.
7'1".
We've got 12 plays, 8, I think, anyway. All right. Give me the name of 3 of the 4 Aussie players from the second Ashes test whose first name starts with the letter M. 3 players. There's 4 in total. You only have to give me 3.
Bertman. Marcus Harris.
Yep.
Marnus Loose Bus Change.
Yep.
Michael Nisa.
Yes. Also Mitchell Stark as well.
Starky boy.
You got the points there. All right. Second last question. Who won more Grand Slams, Andre Agassi or Pete Sampras?
Bertman. Andre Agassi.
I like to go Pete Sampras.
Pete Sampras is correct. All right, we have 13 plays 9. Last question of the year is worth 4 points, which means anyone can win. It's nearest 2, but we're going to write it down this week because I don't want no fucking asshole shenanigans from you.
Hey, I changed my answer and I was like,
You still won.
Yeah.
Just say, is it 13-9?
Something like that.
What's 9 plus 4?
Don't know.
13.
13
it's
all.
worth 5 points.
5 points.
Go
Go 5.
Got a
otherwise-
tiebreaker.
It's worth 5 points. Anyway, fucking. All right, 1 point off for Ches. All right, get your pens ready. Nearest 2. How many dimples are there on the Titleist Pro V1 golf ball? I'll give you a bracket between 350 and 400. Titleist Pro V1 golf ball. 5 points.
Ches.
Hey, write it down. You both get a chance.
Between what?
350 and 400. Write it down and show me your answers.
And show you the answers.
Yeah, well, I need to know. What do you got? Hurry up, fuck you. 371. All right. Mr. Cherry's answered 364. Mr. Bertman has answered 371. The answer is 388. Mr. Bertman.
Come on!
Oh, very
Every
good.
week
So
these
you
last
get the
questions
points
get-
there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points there. Oh, hang on. No, there's one last question. This one will take the lead. How do you spell Dallin Wateni Zalesniak?
Ches. I'm confident here.
Dallin.
DAILL.
No, I.
Oh,
That's not really a question. I was
Winner by
thinking.
default.
I just want to use that. Mr. Bertman wins. I think that's, except for my win in the middle there, that's about 12 in a row, I think.
Yeah, I think Ches has
Those
been
last
robbed a
questions.
couple.
They do fuck you. Hey,
Those
if you hadn't
get me.
left it for 4 points, it would have been tie break, but no, you had to bring it up.
I would have got that spelling one wrong anyway.
Very good. As I said, that was the last 21 and done for the year. Thank you again to Manscaped who have come on board. Great products. Get amongst it. And
I'm cramping up.
get yourself a little trim up. And Mrs. Claus may come a little bit earlier this year, if you know what I mean. That SGM code...
That'll be the first time all year.
That SGM code is valid until the 31st of December. So, if you don't get one for Christmas off the bride and you maybe get a little bit of spending money off the in-laws, put it to good use and head on over to Manscaped on Boxing Day and get yourself a little
Don't tell the in-laws what you bought.
little
Or why you
lawnmower
bought
4.0. Very good, boys. Let's jump right now into beer of the week for the last time this year. As always, thank you to the Whitebull Hotel, great sponsors of the show. Mr. Hawkeye has supplied the boys with beverages all year, kept us nice and hydrated. Thank you very much for that. One last time, what has he got you this week, lads?
Mate, I was having a look there today down at the Hawkeye's office, and we've gone through most of his stock. He's been very generous this year. This is our 45th week. So thanks again, Hawkeye.
Yeah, thanks, Hawkeye.
Mate, he
down
was
at
actually enjoying a bit of lunch when I cruised through to get the beers to take home. So Zeke the Elite served me, and we picked up a 6-pack of the old Heinies, the old Heineken, the old German beer, pure malt lager, 5%ers. Now, last week we were here, we were sweating our rings off. It was pretty hot. We've had a bit of rain over the last few hours and yesterday, so it's cooled things down, but it's still getting warm. And as you can see, we've today's session hasn't gone for too long. We're bloody motoring through the beers. These things are delicious. There's something you can get pretty much everywhere. They're one of those branded beers that you see throughout television shows, movies and stuff. And there's a reason for that, and that's because of the taste. I have had a big session on these before, and the next day isn't too bad on them either. Probably the way that they're made with the proper ingredients. And these things, for me, boys, definitely something I'd have again numerous times. Being Christmas, very generous. I'm going to go a 4.5.
Nice, I like it.
Well, boys, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This no twist top rubbish. These are unfortunately pop tops. I remember I had a massive session on these down at World Rally Australia down in Coffs Harbour with a good mate. We ended up at the Heineken tent. We ended up on the roof. They had a rooftop balcony. And from there, we looked into the service park, and we're up there drinking schooners for bloody nothing, $4 a schooner or something. And we're overlooking the whole entire service park, and we could see him working on all the cars all at the one time, you know. And we stepped into a few of these, and Ches, I woke up fairly fine. Yeah. It's actually not a bad beer. It's actually fairly nice, but I'm going to give it a 3. I'm going to give it a 4, but I'm going to knock a point off it because it's not a twist top.
Oh, yeah. He likes his twist tops.
Well, if these things have twist tops, it'll just make things a lot easier.
It's good. It's good drinking too. It's funny because I went down, picked up my punters club money. I had a Northern, and then we had lunch because today's last day of work. So I had 2 little creatures down there, and
how'd you go on those?
Yeah, they were the Rogers, like the dark one. So having this, I'm sort of going, this actually fucking pretty good considering.
Are they the mid-strength ones?
They are, yeah.
The Whitebull had those on tap, mate. They were pretty good. I didn't mind them.
Anyway,
so
back to the
4,
Heineken.
but knocking one off for the lid, so 3.
I'll realistically, I'll give them a 4.
Give him a 4.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
This is massive in Europe too.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
Huge in Europe, yeah.
Huge on the Same Game Multi podcast as well. Probably going to be a lot huger since its appearance on our show. That's just about it, boys. We're just about wrapped for the year. Anything else you'd like to say? I'll throw it to you, mate.
I have one request. You're in charge of all the controls, etc. Can our intro music, can it be Hall & Oates Merry Christmas song?
I've got to put Michael Bublé on, to be honest, Truth, but
no comments, boys. Just be good at it, and stay safe over the break.
Anything from you, Ches?
Yeah.
Yours, mate.
All the viewers and listeners, have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy the time off work. Enjoy the beers, prawns, and ham. If you're travelling, please travel safe. Remember to have a rest. Pull up for a ciggy or one of these Heinekens. No, better not drink and drive. That's silly. Enjoy the time off, and we'll be back next year to do it all again.
We will be. Couldn't have said it much better myself. Enjoy your break. We're going to have a few weeks off. We will be back in the new year, middle of Jan there somewhere. We'll kick off again. Just like to say a big shout out to our sponsors. Ches already mentioned, but Whitebull Hotel, Top Sport, and also Manscaped. Been fantastic. We've only got some very exciting things happening next year as well in the works.
Fucking Corellas, can you hear them?
So stay tuned for that.
Fucking things.
As always, don't eat your soup with a fork. Don't put filters on your dick pics, and don't text and drive. And we'll see you next year. Cheers.